If I was in the supermarket with you, or we were at the gas station, we were in a store, and I turned around and I did this. If I put my palms up and you saw this on my hands, would anyone in this audience understand what this meant? By a show of hands, do you know what this means? One person. Two, a few. Great, that's wonderful. I'm going to explain exactly what this means. This is a silent cry. This means I am in danger. I need you to help me. I need you to intervene on my behalf. And if you don't have the courage to speak up, I may die. I will become a statistic. I am crying out for help. I've been silenced. I can't speak. I need you to save me at this point. If you see this, you need to understand it and you need to recognize it. And I'm going to be talking today about domestic violence. What this actually is called the Black Dot Campaign. According to Snoops.com, rumor has it, a black dot on the palms of the hands means that my abuser is close by. It means that I'm vulnerable. It means that I'm going to become a statistic. It means I'm silently crying out for help. I need you to help me in any way, fashion, or form. I need you to intervene. Some key points that I'm going to speak about today. What is domestic violence? What are some signs of abuse? What you can do to help, and I'm also going to give you some available resources that you can take from here today if you do need help or you know someone. So to start off with, domestic violence. According to Webster's dictionary, domestic violence is defined as a noun. It is violent or aggressive behavior within the home, typically involving the violent abuse of a spouse or partner. Some signs of abuse, and we're going to touch on a few. We're not going to go over all of them. We have physical and sexual abuse as well as emotional abuse. So some signs of physical and sexual abuse would basically be hair pulling, biting, pushing, choking, kicking, confinement, slapping, forced intercourse, emotional abuse. And I just want to stress, domestic violence is not a women's thing, it's an everybody thing. Men, women can both be subject to domestic violence. So when I refer to everything, it's in the realm of him and her. It can be calling him or her names, making him or her think that they're crazy, insulting him or her in public, making him or her feel guilty, and treating him or her like a servant. According to the National Task Force to End Sexual and Domestic Violence, 1 in 4 women are victims of domestic violence. U.S. women who are murdered by their partners every day is 3. That's a very large number to think that 3 women every day lose their life to domestic violence. U.S. women who have survived attempted or completed sexual assault, 1 in 6. 1.3 women who reported being raped or sexually assaulted in 2009. And we cannot forget the innocent children. The children witnessed what happened. They are a part of it. That is a drastic number. That number needs to be cut down. Children that are exposed to domestic violence each year, 15 million. You're going to hear a ding through the rest of my presentation. It's going to loop through my presentation every 15 seconds. It's a silent cry. It's a reminder that in the United States, every 15 seconds, someone is battered. Every 15 seconds, there's a person that's down. There's a voice that's not being heard. There's someone that can't speak for themselves. So as we hear that thing, I want everybody to just remember that in their heart, somebody is screaming out for help. Sadly to say, January 27th, I was a statistic. I was thrown into a realm of being a victim of domestic violence. I was abused by my husband at the time. Some circumstances that usually occur with domestic violence. It usually occurs between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. More than 60% of domestic violence incidents happen at home. And domestic violence costs more than $37 billion a year in law enforcement involvement, legal work, medical, mental treatments, and lost productivity of companies. I can't even begin to tell you the amount of lawyer fees I've had, court costs, different things that are associated with it. It's very expensive and taxing. We are not victims, we're survivors. A victim is a person that is harmed or injured or killed as a result of a crime or act of violence. January 27th, I was in a victim state of mind. The incident occurred, I was hurt, I was injured, I was broken down, I hadn't put myself together. So what I literally had to do, I had to put an S on my chest and explain to myself, get yourself up, get yourself together, you're not a victim, you are a survivor. On January 28th, it came to my senses, I realized God spared your life. You're a survivor. You didn't die, you're here, you need to make the best of it. A survivor is someone who survives, especially after an event in which others have died. This is a picture of my mom. She passed away in 2002. She was always my superhero, always my strength. This January 28th date played very ironically in my mind because that was actually my mother's birthday. And January 28th was the first day I had to go to court. And what upset me the most wasn't the fact that I was hurt, that I was recovering from bruises, was the fact that on my mother's birthday, I'm standing in court dealing with this mess. And then I had to remember where I came from. Your mom is a superhero. You need to put the fight that your mother had in her spirit in you right now to continue to fight every day for yourself and your family. And that's why January 28th is a special day for me. I'll never forget it. I had to reinvent myself. From January 28th to today, we don't call me a victim. We simply call me a survivor. I'm here, I'm alive, I survived the event, so we don't label us as a victor. I need to be in a survivor state of mind at all points in time. Ways to help survivors. According to domesticshelters.org, set up a code word or signal to signal an emergency. If you know someone that has been a victim of domestic violence, one thing you should do is have a way to communicate with them. After the event, even with family and friends now, I have code words set up so people would know if I speak to you, if I text you something, this means that I'm still in danger. You guys need to act on it. You need to listen unconditionally. Victims, survivors of domestic violence, when they're going through things, they're not capable of understanding exactly what happens. You don't need to judge them. Sometimes we just need an ear. We just need you to be there for us. Take abuse seriously. If somebody's telling you that they're being abused, we're not going to make it up. It is true. Abuse happens in every form and fashion. You might not think it's happening, but it actually is. Hire an attorney, obtain legal services, ask what you can do, provide financial support. Very serious with financial support. I was a single mom that went from a 2-household family with 4 kids to a single mom with 4 kids. The reality of feeding your kids, paying your light bill, still making sure that the water is on, they still need sneakers, and doing everything that you need to do is there. So if you know someone who is a victim of domestic violence, financial support is very important. I thank God for my brother who actually stepped up to the plate and just was very good with me, delivering money, making sure that his nephews and nieces were pretty much taken care of. Some numbers and outreach things for domestic violence. The Center for Domestic Violence is a 24-hour hotline, phone number listed here. National Domestic Violence. Women's Resources for Monroe County. Very big in Monroe County. A lot of additional resources within them. Numbers you can contact them. Hope Line Crisis, another number. All of these are really confidential, open 24/7. Conclusion. Don't be afraid or ashamed to speak up. I had to understand I couldn't be ashamed of what happened to me. I couldn't be afraid of what happened to me. I feel as though what happened to me, I never thought I would say this, was actually a blessing in disguise. Is when you're at that weakest point in your life that you actually understand how strong you are. Sometimes you have to put an S on your chest to understand. I have power inside of me that I never thought I had. I can do things that I never thought I could do. And standing here today, talking in front of this class, is very healing for me. It's healing for my 2 boys that are here, and it's a great thing. I can't give up. My boys need me. That S on my chest means so much. These 2 children, this picture is them looking out at the world. Even though my world crashed, they still have their whole life and the world in front of them. And it's my obligation that at no point in time they don't get what it is they deserve and they need. And that is why I fight the way that I fight, and I will never give up for those 2 guys that are sitting right there, because I love them with my heart and all of my life. Something from Facebook. I am an LPN by profession. I'm in the RN, just going towards the RN program, and I believe my best is yet to come. My faith in God carries me to know that the incident that occurred is not the end to bring me to this point. This is just a stepping stone, and from this day on, it will only get better. Thank you.